on Ash. Pinello. And I think the last slot is Rex. Alright. We in there. Oh, alright. Vayne, no. Vayne doesn't really bring much other than dark damage. Oh, I got some updating to do. Sailing the Skies. Okay, we've got 2 new abilities. Heavy Combat. These are for Gabrath. Evil Swing looks like a clone of our current Earth Heavy Combat ability, where just have more charges of Heavy Charge, and you do more hits, do a lot of damage. Yay. Dark Impact. Well, you actually wouldn't be using that, Mark. You would ideally be using Bosch's USB 2, which we will see in a second. Dark Impact's 1 to 6 area effect, and this is just a clone of the Earth area of effect ability. So yeah, this would be for the people who got Cloud Things. Even if you didn't get Cloud Things, it's probably not that bad with his USB. And also for Gabrath. And that's it for new things, so we're just going to go take a look at the banners. Okay, we got 4 6 stars. Vaan USB 2, Bosch USB 2, Fran USB 2, and Ash USB 1. Vaan's USB 2 is... it turns Vaan into a wind character. It is a wind katana, which is kind of a weird thing for Vaan to get because his dive includes an increase in damage if he's using daggers. So you wouldn't actually want to use this on him if you have him legend dived for damage purposes. You'd want to use this katana on somebody else like Cloud. And you would want to use Bart's ASB for a wind dagger. Anyway, 0 cast time, 10 single target, wind non-elemental, self-X mode, Wings of Freedom. Wings of Freedom is self-attack plus 30%, critical 50%, in chase thief abilities with Spiral Rush, 3 to 7, wind non-elemental, number of hit scales with uses. Here's the issue here is he kind of becomes a budget, not even budget, because he costs just as much to put together as Zidane is, but a not as awesome version of Zidane. Zidane also has a chase that scales on number of uses. Oh no, he doesn't. He has a finisher that scales on number of uses, but anyway. The problem with the number of uses thing, and it scaling his damage up with the amount of times that you use this, is that the way that Vaan gets extra cast speed is with his USB 1. The status on his USB 1 reduces all the cast times for thief abilities to 0. So that is definitely inferior to Zidane, who has a trance mode, LM2, that allows him to reduce all his cast speeds for thief abilities to 0. So, for the time being, this is just an inferior version of Zidane. Yeah, he also doesn't get dual cast. However, Vaan does get access to Celerity. And he does get an ability in the future that makes this a lot better. And I'm going to go and show it to you. The translation in Japan was Quick Disaster. It's probably not going to be called Quick Disaster for us. But it's a Wind and Lightning Celerity 6-star ability. It has a low multiplier, but it is instantaneous. So you will be benefiting by just casting instantly, natively, and triggering this chase. And it's only 3 hits. So it's a pretty low damage ability, but the fact that it is instant cast, and it's a 6-star ability, so it generates a lot of soul break points, 80, and if you're exploiting a vulnerability, it's 120. So you cast this ability really quickly, you get a lot of chases, and then you're able to recast his USB, or recast something else, because he has instant soul breaks. It makes a lot of sense to recast his soul breaks. Oh, it triggers off a thief? Oh, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Vaan USB 2 is bad. Yeah, I don't like it at all. I think Vaan's strength is probably in his other soul breaks. Yeah, it just has to be. His other soul breaks are actually useful in the Torment, and that's really what this is for. Vaan is not really a Magicite character. So let's see if we can find some kind of strength for him in Torment, and we can. Vaan's BSB is actually really good in the Torment because Zodiark, the Final Fantasy XII Torment boss, at portions of the fight buffs its magic and attack, and then following that buff uses like a mega attack, using either the magic or the attack that got buffed. So what's really nice about Vaan's USB 1 and BSB is the BSB allows him to carry more abilities because you get a magic breakdown, and this is the point of his BSB, is you use the magic breakdown to remove the magic buff from the boss. So the magic attack doesn't just instant kill you, and allows him to carry an ability and power breakdown to get rid of the power buff. So he becomes your character to get rid of those things. And the boss, the difficulty curve on the Final Fantasy XII Torment is it does an extreme amount of damage, and it's not just those 2 attacks. So though he gets his debuffs resisted, Vaan debuffs so much because he's so quick, and so like his USB and his BSB are both instantaneous. He can debuff the boss a lot, and it's honestly it's really, really useful in that fight, even though it's a 70% resistance. Those things are not on this banner, which stinks. But I guess I'm just trying to show that yeah, Vaan's USB 2 is not good. Well, it is 0 cast time, and he could use the 6-star thief ability to do a lot of damage. But God, it just feels like such a waste to bring Vaan to the team and not make use of his debuffing. Well, Penella's BSB2 is a highlight of the banner, unless you have it as a dupe, because Penella's BSB2 is basically your primary healing tool in the Torment, because the boss does so much damage, and a lot of that is just heavy single target that people are probably going to die, and the Last Stand is extremely useful. So that's a nice part of the banner. There's a lot of good parts of this banner. Bosch USB 2 is definitely the best realm buff in Final Fantasy XII. Now, okay, I don't really care for Vaan's USB, but Bosch's USB, excellent. Ash's USB, excellent. If you need both of those things, that's a good start. But I think I have an issue here is that Fran's USB isn't that great. It's 0 cast time. It's a character that has support 4. So she can use Power Breakdown and Magic Breakdown on the boss. But this worries me. What's the duration on Fran's debuff? You have Penelo USB. Penelo USB does not provide Last Stand. Penelo's BSB2 is arguably as good or better than her USB for the fight. I'd want both. I'd want both. Yeah, it's only 8 seconds. That 70% is huge, and it's on both attack and magic for the purpose of saving yourself from getting killed. But it's only 8 seconds. It's only instant cast 1 to the user. Yeah, I'm not really that much of a fan of this. For some reason, it's only a 6 multiplier, so it doesn't even do that much damage. And it certainly isn't going to do him a lot of damage because it's on Fran. With access to stuff like with Vaan, it just, I can't see this one being good. And that's what kind of kills the banner. If 3 of these things were good for the Torment, I'd be down. But Bosch and Ash are pretty much the power on the 6-star section. It's just not enough. What do you mean time it? The boss never stops doing tons of damage. So the top of the banner is kind of iffy. Despite the fact that Bosch's USB is here, which is just awesome. It does provide physical blink. Yes, it does. I do believe that is just not enough. Anyway, Fran BSB2 full breakdown. Awesome. Awesome. At least it's power magic breakdown on the commands. But that is a weak debuff. It's better than what I have. I'm going to be bringing Fran's Shatterheart, her unique, to the fight. So there's that. Bosch's BSB is bad, but it is a Holy Spear. I think it's the only holy weapon in Final Fantasy XII. That cannot be true. That cannot be true. Bosch has to have some other holy weapon, even if it's RS. I know his USB is, and I have his USB, and it's not holy. Ash BSB is it's an enduring good. It's lightning armor, so that's fine. Anyway, I would actually want this. It comes in handy. It does. It does a lot of damage for a BSB. Having characters with burst modes, like for the wall thing that I did earlier tonight. Just having bursts for extremely good characters is really useful. I don't know. 3 BSBs. And that's the only good one. Penelo's BSB2 is really good. Outside of Final Fantasy XII, not that useful. I think Realms is better. Has a lower level heal, but it has an instant cast Kiraja command for Command 1. Penelo's does not, but Penelo's is the only last stand. Is it really the only last stand in Final Fantasy XII? And because of that, it's really useful. Ingabranth BSB is a good BSB because it's an Imperiled Arc. It's an Imperiled Arc on a character that can start the battle with End Arc. And of course, it's not on this banner. It's not on the second banner either. Ingabranth just does not show up during this event. Okay. But if you do have his End Arc LMR, then good stuff. Otherwise, it is plus Dark Sword. Right? Yes. So that's good. Ash, Penelo, Gabranth, these are fine BSBs. Fran LMR, Start Battle with Quick Cast 3, good. Vaan LMR, awful. Low chance of self-smart after 1 when dealing damage to enemies using thief abilities. Terrible. Terrible. Bosch, Start Battle with Unholy, really good. Really good. Because this USB does not provide that. Ash LMR, extremely good. Penelo LMR, very good, very good. So all three of these are good. Franz is good. That's a good LMR section. When all we have to worry about is Vaan's really shit LMR too. BSB section is fine. There's things there. But I think it makes it tough to pull on this banner when you have such a top end. Vaan's USB 2 is good. Don't get me wrong. It will do a lot of damage. When I look down on it, it's because I look at the rest of what's available. So where are the two different places? His OSB is an RS Holy Sword? Thank you. At least there's something. So where are the places you would use Vaan? With his USB 2, you would use him in Earth Magicite, which is Midgard's Warmer, and a Magicite for 5-star that's not even released in Japan yet. It's that far away. In the Earth Magicite, there are so many better wind options. And that's why I would rate this low, because even though it does do a lot of damage, there's just so much better. And in the Final Fantasy XII Torment, Vaan can just achieve so much more and be so much more beneficial to a team with his USB 1 and his Burst Soul Break. So that really just gives me value here, it being a wind katana. Cloud can use it. I don't know. Just not that big of a fan. Now, Bosch's USB is extremely good because, as someone brought up earlier, yeah, it's just a clone of Riku's USB, but it's important because Ash is a very, very important character in this Torment. Because she's the only person in the realm with an ASB. So, if you want to get anywhere in the highest difficulty, you basically have to use Ash and her USB. Maybe not her USB, but at least her ASB. And in order for her to do meaningful amounts of damage, you're going to want magic buffs in the team. And the best way to get that is Bosch's USB 2. Because Ash can self-buff with Faith, and that will stack with Bosch's USB, and that's how you get to the soft cap. Or she doesn't need a self-buff at all, and she can use her USB, and that'll work too. Bart's and Zack, yeah, Zach can too. God, I didn't know that. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, Penelo's BSB1 for the magic buff. Oh, okay. Honestly, that would be fine for the D280, but I'm less optimistic for the highest difficulty. Oops, back button. I'm not that big of a fan of the banner. Everything from BSBs down is acceptable. It's just the top end worries me. Is there any alternatives to this? For strengthening our Final Fantasy XII tournament? I haven't updated this in a while. Can we... We have a Final Fantasy XII event coming soon in Japan. God, that's so far away, though. When does Vane come back? Never. There we go. There was a Final Fantasy XII event. Oh my god. Good. We have something to look at. Balthier, Gabrath, Penelo USB 2, Ash USB 1 again. And it's one banner. Is this better? Yeah, this is better. Because this has an ASB on it. It still has Penelo's BSB 2, which I'm pretty sure is probably better than her USB 2. It does have her dual cast white magic. I think I'm waiting for this banner. We'll see, because I do have a fair amount of stuff in Final Fantasy XII. I might be able to get somewhere. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure I'm waiting for this banner to do the Final Fantasy XII highest difficulty of the tournament. No, it's not party instant cast. Or is it? Feel like it would have stuck out more in my mind when I went over it for the first time. Maybe it is. Yeah, it is. That is better than I thought it was. I wonder, because you do need a magic breakdown and a power breakdown in the fight. So what Penelo's USB 2 does is it grants a Cure Step follow-up. What Cure Step is a Medica triggered by dance. She Medicas whenever she dances. So for 15 seconds she has a status on that whenever she dances she cures the party. So she could bring a power breakdown or a magic breakdown in dance form for a party medica. That's kind of cool. It's truly only something that you would use in Torment, but still seems useful for the Torment, which is, well, that's why I'd be pulling on this banner. Certainly no other reason. Her dive is, I think, a chance for another medica when dancing. Yeah, 35% chance to medica after using a dancer ability, and obviously her LMR, which is on the banner, is a dual cast white magic, which is also good. Okay, so I'm much more on the Pinello USB 2 train than I was. Gabranth is Heavy Charge Boost and Brave. Heavy Charge Boost is the same thing that, so this is just a copy of... Wait, that's a Brave mode? Hold on. Heavy Charge Booster. Yeah, I think that's the adds one heavy charge whenever you generate one. Because that could be pretty powerful. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I personally like this banner a lot more. Maybe that can change. Imperils are always useful for... No, they're not. Imperils won't be terribly useful for this tournament. So, Balthier's USB 2, not that good. Because there's not a lot of fire damage dealers. It would seriously just be for himself. I'm happy looking at this banner that I have Balthier's USB 1, because that's Endfire. I want him to benefit himself instead of trying to benefit the rest of the party, because everyone's elemental damage is going to be all over the place. So Imperils don't work there. Oh, well, this is fine. I think I'd still want the USB 1, because why chase with an Imperil when I can have a quick cycle on Machinist? Well, the thing, he is more Magicite based, but the ASB is just really, really, really useful for the Torment. Yeah, no Bosch USB. Stinks. This would be good for the Magicite, though. The USB. Excellent, really. Alright. Sorry, I'm spending too much time looking at that. Let's go to Banner 2. There's Vaan USB 1. Pinello USB. Larsa USB. Okay, I was on board until Larsa USB. Not really that big of a fan of this. Back when it first came out, when I hadn't seen the Torment yet, I was like, hey, maybe, you know, this thing will be useful for the Torment. Nope. The boss inflicts sap. That is the boss's only statuses. They've really just completely cut Larsa out of the picture as far as the Torment goes. So Larsa is a different kind of healer. Rex USB is very good, but kind of like Larsa, it's more, well, no, it's fine in Torment. I'm sure the Lightning Radiant Shield will do something. Radiant Shields, none of the Radiant Shields will add to a Realm Chain. Even though they add to Elemental Chains, no Realm Chain. And that's why this loses a lot of its oomph, but it's still decent. It's an attack buff and haste, so. And the Radiant Shield's still going to deal damage. Like, the boss does a ton of damage, so some of that's going to get returned. Man, this is... I hate how... They gotta do this on purpose, right? Vaan's BSB and his USB 1 is both here, and these are both great for the Torment. But then instead of Penelo and her BSB 2, we get stuck with Larsa's USB and Larsa's BSB. Rex instead of Bosch. So each of the banners is like half and half. It's like, hey, I'm a little good for the Torment and a little good for other things. Instead of being, hey, here's all the things that are good for Torment. Of course they do this on purpose. Anyway, Larsa BSB not good for Torment. It's fine for the D280. When I need to do this disclaimer often, but when I say not good for Torment, I mean the highest difficulty. I'm sure Rex's BSB will be plenty for the D280. Vaan BSB, nah. Both of your BSB is fine, but it's in peril. It's, again, better for outside of the Torment. Vaan LMR is even worse than his LMR 2. Larsa LMR, low chance to additionally cast Status Blink on an ally when using a single target. That's terrible. Rex, low chance to heal an ally for a moderate proportion of their HP when using Spellblade abilities. It sounds good, and it is good if he's able to use Spellblade abilities, but the thing about the Torment is Rex is most likely going to be doing stuff other than casting Spellblades, which is probably Dispel and healing. So this is good for Magicite, but off healing is less useful in Magicite. Vaan LMR is gotta be a meme. It's about as bad as it gets. Medium chance to interrupt enemy when using support abilities equipped. Well, you have to have a bow equipped as well. It's too good. If you just leave it here, medium chance to interrupt an enemy when using support abilities, that's just too good. It's way too good. They had to add a qualifier. You must have a bow equipped. Both of your chance to dual cast Machinist is good. But this banner has quite a few holes on it. Less than the first. I don't know. I'm not really feeling Larsa's USB. Yeah, it doesn't even come on a bow. I love Rex's USB. I have it. I've used it, and it is extremely powerful versus bosses that are vulnerable to lightning. It's extremely powerful. I love it. It's so powerful that I have no interest whatsoever in pursuing Prompto's chain in the future. So I'm happy with that. I really do like Penelo's USB. I love Vaan's USB 1. This is really, it's not a bad banner because, I don't know. But at least 3 of these are something I can really get behind. And Larsa's BSB is always good. Rex BSB is good as well. Both your BSB2 is good. Just not for the Torment. I don't know. It feels like the difficult to get stuff for Final Fantasy XII are the ASBs. Ash, now, and in the future, Balthier. VVLMR is awesome. Yeah, VVLMR LMR1 is really good. It's very easy to overcome the drawback of slow casting. Alara USB is just amazing, and it gives the party high quick cast too. So that little bit increase of cast time you've added on with VV's LMR gets almost completely erased by having any form of quick cast in the party. And yeah, we do have Bard ability too, and there's some good bards in the game, including Alara. The getting the damage boost that comes with VV's LMR1 is just rare. It's almost unheard of. Because it's plus BLK damage. It's not even school base. It's just BLK. Ah, it's such a good LMR. Anyway, back to Final Fantasy XII. I don't know. It feels so icky. I don't know. That's the best word I can think of it for both of these banners. I feel icky because there's some really good things on both of these banners. But neither of them are like up to the standard that I'm looking for, I guess. Because we're in the down period right now of 4 6 stars on a banner. I just feel like banners with only 4 6 stars on it's gotta have to be completely like theme driven for this is great for Torment, or this is great for something. But I think this falls short. Yeah, let's make the perfect banner. Out of a 4 6 star banner, Vaan USB 1, Bosch USB 2, Pinello USB, Ash USB, Vaan BSB, Ash BSB, Pinello BSB. There's not a whole lot of good burst soul breaks to choose from. Let's just say Bosch, because it gives him a holy spear. And Gabrath is fine, whatever. 5 LMRs, let's say Balthier LMR1. Oh no, Franz can stay. Franz is actually good. Pinello LMR. Bosch's is fine, Ash's is fine, and yeah, but how many things are on it that you want, Terravaka? Rex? Rex's is a good LMR. Okay, I'm in. Oh no. Okay, sure. Oh, Rex BSB. Oh, okay. Front LMR1 is on the second banner. There's got to be a lot of banners that don't have any dupes for you on them, Taravaka. What makes this one so special? So you only want 2 things off the banner? Alright, so how do other people feel about this? Why not? Seems like a pretty good use. Save your